What's up, guys, and welcome back to What's in My Kit Wednesday. All right, so last week we started off with the What's in My Kit pit accessories, so stuff you need to go racing. That was part one, and you can go see that here if you haven't seen it yet. But now we're gonna do part two. So again, this is just stuff you don't have to have. It's just nicety, stuff that you would be very helpful with on the track. So first off, get right into it. You've got a pit board. Basically, this one's made of glass. They got different materials they make them of, and it basically just gives you a flat, true surface to do measurings on and stuff like that. Speaking of measurings, the different gauges you need is like a camber gauge. This will tell you toe in and toe out for your tires, what the angles are for it, and always handy to have when you're racing. Ride height gauge for racing indoor or outdoor. You always want to know what your ride height's at, and you just drop this under, and then it falls. So I'll give you an example of that in a second. But then there's a little reading on the side, but we'll get a closer look at that. And then the final thing is Vernier or a caliper, micrometer. I know people call them all kinds of different things. There's a technical term for it, but this is basically just for measuring like tie rods and stuff like that, or shock shafts. You want to know how long, the shock shaft is, how long a total shock is, or how long the turnbuckle needs to be. It's all just done so that way you can figure out, okay, the right side, that's how long I want it. When you build the left one, you've already locked this one, and you just measure it against that. So definitely a good bit of kit to have, and you always want to take care of these, especially the digital ones. Obviously, you don't want them beating around, so always make sure they go back in the case. All right, so let's get a closer look on how these work. So normally you'd want this a lot bigger, so that way you can put the whole camber gauge beside it and measure it. But we don't have enough room here, so I'm going to do it without the board. But I highly suggest that you do it with the board. You just need a bigger board. Again, that's my on-road one, so that's why it's smaller. But for off-road, you need a bigger one. So we'll act like this is a true surface, a flat surface. But drop it down, let it settle for a bit, and then just mark it there, and then tighten it up and get your reading. And this is -1 degree. So they're just ticked in this way 1 degree. And if it was out that way, it'd be +1 degree, but they're towed in 1 degree that way. And then you can go around and check the other side. Same, so we're all good there. So for the turnbuckles, with the your caliper or Vernier or whatever you want to call it, you want to measure this. So we go from the inside to the inside here of the thing, and we get 22.87. All right, so we reset it back to 0, do this side, and we get 22.14. So obviously this one's a little bit shorter than that one, just a little bit, but still you want to get them pretty close. So that's where you could use that. And the same thing again with the shocks at the bottom or whatever, but it's just really handy to measure stuff quickly, to gap your turnbuckles so they match. Or building shocks is really important as well. Loads of things you can use it for, but again, make sure you put that away. All right, so again, I don't claim to be an expert on any of this stuff, but that's the way I use it. And if it's not quite right, just adapt it to what works for you. But not a necessity by any means, just very handy to have. All this stuff really helps you out as far as just getting your car dialed in. And once you start getting into setups and stuff like that and trying other people's setups, or you want to know exactly how you set up for one day and you change stuff for the next time, all this stuff becomes really handy. So tune in next Wednesday for What's in My Kit. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. I've got a few ideas, just see which one comes up then. But if we don't see you on the track, we'll see you on the trail. Later.